and welcome to Slow Pit Stop. I am your host, Mohammed, today, and I'm joined by my co-host, Adam, today in the U.S.
What's up? Oh, it's so good to be back. I have missed America. It's been years, and honestly, the one thing that I forgot that you guys do is you love to say you're all set. Like, it's the normal, if to you it must be normal. I get to the border, looks at my stuff, you're all set. I'm looking at I'm finished my plate at the restaurant, lady comes up, all set? It's the little things.
Do you guys use gotcha? I feel like we use gotcha a lot.
Yeah, not massively, like a little bit. We're really like leaning into no worries. We're a big no worries people now, which I fear we stole from Australians.
Yeah.
But Canada is all about no worries now. Oh, no, it's the best.
Adam is not with us this week, unfortunately, but Adam is in the United States and he's joining us in person. We've changed our format a little bit. We're no longer just floating heads on the screen. We are in person in a real, I don't know if I would call this a studio. It's not fully a studio, but
no, we're a real TikTok podcast now.
We just need the LED lights to get that joke.
We're going to have snippets about men's health. Like, it's going to be, it's everything you want.
Speaking of men's health, let's get into this race that we have.
Speaking of mental health, oh man.
So Spa, an incredible track, and thankfully room to overtake. Do you wanna just get into how do you want to start?
Yeah, so I'll go straight into drama for me, like melodrama. This was like the worst race I've watched, I think. Like, I'm gonna go straight for the jugular. Like, yeah, again, it's supposed to be like a top 3 track, like most racers' favorite track, maybe other than Suzuka. Like, it's either that, some people have a soft spot for Silverstone or Interlagos, but this is like mostly supposed to be like the number one. So wonderful, unbelievably boring.
I thought that about the sprint race.
The sprint was also brutal. Like, at least as a Red Bull fan, I got to see a cool overtake, and then Max do 15 qualifying laps to hold on with the worst car. But otherwise, also not amazing at all.
I think starting on pole position at this track is just incredibly difficult. Yeah. Because you're going to lose it going into Kemmel. Like, you're just...
Yeah, it sure seems like it.
Incredible.
It sure seems like it.
Even Lando starting on pole, it was almost like Piastri didn't have to try.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some videos on Instagram later. They were like, oh, these are the mistakes Lando made. But I really don't think
Battery issues even, people were saying.
I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I think it's just the track. You don't want to start on pole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, until you texted me that there was a sprint race, I forgot that we had a sprint race this week.
It's not a good place for a sprint race, that's for sure. It's the longest lap on the calendar.
Yeah. Wait, let's start here then. What are the good places for a sprint race?
Oof.
You want places where it's
I don't like sprints, so... Bahrain, maybe, then? It's overtakey. I think that would be nice. Especially if you could use, like, a Bahrain outer circuit or something. Just do something different.
Oh, my God.
You're already here, you're doing a sprint, but it's a little different.
That's such a good idea.
Right? In fact, now that we're saying it, why don't we make it all of the tracks that have variants?
That's such a... It's like France, Spain. Bahrain outer circuit is such a good idea for the sprint.
You're already there.
Whoa.
Yeah, we just solved sprints.
And it's like a high-speed thing, too. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, we've fixed sprints like 4 times on this podcast.
Yeah, this is the most fixed.
I think USA is a good place to do. I think Texas is solid.
Solid, yeah. Texas just rules anyway. Like, it's so underrated.
And the Silverstone and maybe Spain. I wouldn't do Canada. I don't know. Have they ever done... I think they do sprint races in Canada sometimes. I wouldn't do Canada.
I wouldn't do Canada. I mean, China stands out as cool because Lewis won, and I'm not even the Lewis fan of the podcast, but I thought it was, like, really exciting. So that was cool.
But there's no overtaking. He won because he qualified the fastest. And nobody could overtake, which I'll take it. But that's, like... It's not because we had incredible racing.
Yeah.
And even when you look at this, like, literally Max takes the lead, and then, yes, he defends incredibly well.
Yeah.
But he's really not, like, he's not having to battle it out.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a battle at any point. Yeah.
He just had to be Max and not screw anything up, not make any major mistakes.
Check. Max is Max. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I'm never going to get excited about sprints, I don't think. But, never say never. Maybe there will be something in the new regs that all of a sudden make it interesting. We don't have DRS now. We're going to have, some variant of push to pass. I don't even...
Yeah, I don't understand this new thing that they're doing. It's like 2 different types of DRS. It's like one for the high speed or something, one for like the low speed you can turn on to get a boost. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know what is the hatred against DRS, just because it makes overtaking too easy?
Yeah, or that it's always predictable. It's on a straight and nobody's setting it up for corners. I don't find that to be particularly true. We have all kinds of beautiful shots of Oscar, Max, and Lewis doing cool overtakes in corners.
And also we have ERS now, and ERS you can kind of use it strategically.
Yeah. You have your mode overtake, and I don't know.
You can use it to defend. You can use overtake to defend. You can use overtake to
It's all over now, though. Can't wait to see what the next year brings.
Yeah, I don't know. All of that rumors between Max and Fred Vasseur and all of that, and basically came to nothing. But I think we kind of knew nothing was going to happen. At least Arafat said over and over again, we're not doing anything past. No one's making changes for 2020.
Yeah, that's right. And he was right, it would seem. He wanted us to talk about something specific, but I can't really understand what it was. He's like, Max waited until Fred made the announcement to also say he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, if Arafat has specific things to talk about, he needs to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care that it's 1 a.m. in the UK.
Yeah, I think that was sort of like vaguely. There was like a typo in there, so the rest's not our fault. But I think that was what it was. But yeah, 2026, like, I morosely typed in the chat earlier that, George is going to be the next World Drivers' Champion. Mm-hmm. And you mistakenly took that for optimism. I don't particularly want that either.
I couldn't even...
Like, we're both sad about this now.
I know you didn't mean it as a good thing, but I can't even fathom that.
It's not going to be Lewis or Max now. And it was sort of on the table for Max, it felt like, for quite a while. So they can't do that with my emotion.
Yeah. So, but to play devil's advocate, Endo's given a championship-winning car. Everyone thinks he's going to win it. Yeah. Now he's clearly behind him, and Oscar's the favorite.
Well, I mean, Kimi could become Oscar, like, figure out his various issues, figure out how to manage tires.
His issues are that he's just new. That's really it.
For sure it is.
He really could, within a year or two, take a big step up.
Nobody can be Lewis in 2007 and just, like, immediately challenge for
Well, it also really depends, I think, what Ferrari and Red Bull are next year, because if they have a really good second car, I trust Max and Lewis to fight for a championship.
Yeah. Okay, let's assume that they're not going to be. Let's assume that the things we've heard about Ford and Ferrari, especially Ford, are that it's not going to be any good. Then my question for you that I think's been overlooked a little bit is, like, can Mercedes customers challenge Mercedes? Because there are there's weird chats, even by, like, Joe Sayward, people who kind of know what they're talking about, saying things like, Alpine with the Mercedes engine are going to be, like, surprisingly amazing because they're very good at chassis development. And that's not the one I think of. Like, if I think about Mercedes customers, I'm like, McLaren or Williams are going to be giving Mercedes a run for their money. Totally forgot about Alpine. It's Alpine, right?
I forgot about Alpine.
Also, who are they going to have? Like, are we expecting to see Gasly in, like, with the best engine challenging George?
I thought you were going to say, I forgot about Aston.
Yeah, well, that's what I initially think, and then I'm like, no, they're with Honda, and there are these very murky reports about, like, they're on target or they're not on target.
Yeah.
So what I'm proposing to you is, let's imagine a future that's 2014-ish, where it's only Mercedes engines that stand a chance. Like, who is the proverbial Williams of that?
Here's what Alpine with the Mercedes engine is going to be like. When I play F4 on the PlayStation, I set up the car to be the fastest, coolest car, whatever. I turn off all the traction controls, and as soon as it's lights out, I fly into a wall because I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's going to be Alpine with the Mercedes engine. They're going to have a great power unit. The rest of their organization is going to be in shambles, and they're not going to be able to. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think Williams has a shot. They've been on this upward trajectory, and they were winning podiums before.
That'd be very exciting.
So I think so. It's possible. You could see them fighting for the top of the midfield. Maybe not competing with Mercedes for. If they are, that would be so embarrassing for Mercedes. Can you imagine if it's like Williams and
maybe that's what's up though now. Like, it doesn't seem like they get it. Like, their car is... I mean, George was just saying in an interview, the last 6 races, they've been going backwards. Mercedes and Red Bull both were, like, these teams that were so complete, just fundamentally complete, and the brain drain is so extensive that they're not the same team anymore.
But you can't say like that. Teams get stagnant.
No, you cannot.
Time. You cannot. Dynasties cannot remain.
Well, I just wonder, like, everybody's assuming Mercedes is going to be the team next year. Like, what if they're not? That's a good point. Like, I just listened to Beyond the Grid, and Alex Albon was interviewed the week before last, and Tom Clarkson put it to him, like, what if it's you versus Carlos for the title next year? And it's so funny because Alex is a real one. Like, he's a real one. So he couldn't take the questions serious enough to answer it. He's like, well, that's not going to happen.
I saw clips of that.
He was just like, yeah, well, okay, that's never going to happen. Let's talk about 5 years. And it's like, dude, it's just a thought experiment. Can you, like... But he's like, no, that's too unbelievable for me to speculate about. It's such a fun guy. But couldn't happen to a better guy, honestly. Like, I would be so down for an Albon title.
What is this? What is happening with science? Are we chalking this up to first-year boost? New team, new environment, new car, new engine.
Yeah, I think so. I think that he's gotten used to the Ferrari, which also took him a long time because it's tuned for Charles, and I think Charles and Max are the only ones that like oversteery cars. So he got used to this thing that he didn't like. I think it's very understandable that he's taken some time, just like Lewis is taking time to get to this hyper Charles car. Now he's going back to something a little bit more
It is a hyper
standard.
car.
Yeah, I've always said Charles and Max need to be on the same team to just like take these free radicals out of circulation.
Were you the one who said, I think you told us a couple weeks ago, they need to stop listening to Charles?
Yeah, and to be fair, I stole it from an Italian colleague. He was like, okay. Charles has had his chance. And I was surprised to hear that from an Italian because I thought he was their golden boy. But he was we gave him a chance.
They want to win. I get it.
They want to win, yeah. So he was saying build it around Lewis now.
Yeah, and they brought him onto the team. It's like bringing on Adrian Newey, but you're just a consultant.
And he's been like hardcore at the factory at Maranello, talking to different groups, like.
I hope so. I hope
he's doing the Michael Schumacher thing. It's actually quite impressive.
So. That's what he wanted. I hope it makes a difference for my own mental health in the future. I don't know. Cool. I don't know what to tell you about Red Bull. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm super worried about it. It's
sometimes the organization is so good that you can actually replace individual components and it's fine.
Question for you now, another one. All right. I've been thinking about Christian Horner. Like, it's funny because now that he's been sacked, I think there's a little bit more sympathy too. Like, we can finally say, okay, this is probably the most successful team principal in history instead of just dunking on him. And I've been thinking he'd be well within his rights to retire, just chill, go and work for the FIA, replace MBS. Like, can you imagine? But let's imagine that for some reason he needs to have team ownership on his CV and he wants what he didn't get at Red Bull. People keep talking about Flavio's going to call him. Why would I love that? Because I think there's an outside chance that Lotus would come back then. Like, the idea of, like, Horner coming and taking Cyril Abitable's team, like his nemesis. Yeah, turning it, because it's Enstone. So that is Lotus. So, like, that would be super cool. I think that's, like, the way that I would enjoy that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm already transitioning, right? Like, I know it's going to be hard to be a non-Red Bull Honda fan.
Do you want Lotus in the grid if they're back at the grid, though? Or Lotus on the grid? Yes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Have they ever been in the sport?
I mean, Alpine is arguably the worst team now. Have they ever been? Well, I mean, Jim Clark's era, they were amazing. And then, like, 2012, 13, like, when Raikkonen and Grosjean were there, that was actually a pretty darn good car, but they were like, genuinely bankrupt, so...
Lotus too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you had... Well, didn't Raikkonen even win a race? Was it Abu Dhabi in the Lotus? But anyway, there was just like... Yeah, there's this feeling for me that, if Christian did it, the dude got crazy sponsors, knows how to build a team. Maybe with him and a little bit of dark arts with Flavio, it could happen.
That's a good point. Christian Horner is a good team principal.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of always said it. Even when he got fired, I was like, it's definitely not a performance issue. Like, he's a good team principal. He's kind of like Zach Brown. Like, Zach Brown revamped McLaren from the dead days of the Maconda.
Yeah, the Maconda with zero sponsors on the car, basically. And yeah, I mean, Christian, I don't know whether him or he or Helmut were the reason why they would get so impatient and sack racers early, and I didn't like that part of the management. I don't have to like wholesale love a team. I didn't like that style too much, but otherwise, yeah, just a phenomenal team principal. And so I can almost see him going to Alpine, maybe just keeping it Alpine, like it's just my own fantasy, get China to make it Lotus and get some good money going.
We all need to be billionaires so we can just make the Formula One teams that we want.
Yeah, exactly. But it would be so cool to have Enstone back. Like, the Renault engine's no longer a thing anyway, so like, what are they holding on to on that aspect? There's been already a change of CEO at Alpine. Maybe they don't care.
I don't know what the heck is happening with that team, man. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like an exercise in how to not run a business, forget a team.
Yeah. So I could see that changing, but here's the counter offer I have for you.
Okay.
You might find this even more preposterous. Stroll would probably pay for Christian Horner, but could Adrian Newey stand that? Like, did he move to get away from Christian, or because he really needed a new challenge?
Here's a counter question that.
Yeah.
Does Lawrence Stroll, does he do it just to be like, yes, I can revamp another team?
No, because he genuinely believes in him. Here's the thing. Can you name Aston Martin's current team principal? Because it's not Mike Crack.
I was going to say Mike
Right?
Crack.
Because he's the chief trackside officer now. Can you name him?
No.
Exactly. I think it's Andy Cowell, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, they moved Mike Crack out of the time.
Correct. So this is what I'm saying, is like, this is the kind of flux that they're in right now. Maybe you put Christian Horner back.
Wow.
And then
into Aston Martin.
Yeah, maybe he can even pull Max then, unless that relationship is fractured. But
you're right then. Is it like
yeah.
Christian Horner, Paul Max.
Like, who knows, right? Then we can call that team Lotus. No, that part is silly, but like, there was a news article today saying that Aston Martin has divested of Aston Martin. So they've given them permission to use the name, but there will be no Aston Martin Motors ownership of Aston Martin F1 anymore.
It's so profitable.
I think maybe U-Tree bought them out or something.
Oh, I was gonna say, are they waiting for something like Qatar or one of these countries to buy them?
Qatar is Saudi.
Arabia is
Saudi is there with them. They're Aramco. So yeah, they are the closest to being the Saudi team. Yeah, exactly. You just said. So,
but I'm not a desert oil baron. So.
Never say never.
Listen, this podcast is run by 3 doctors essentially, so we could do it.
Yeah, right. For like 45 minutes or something. It's crazy.
You know, I wonder if we could actually afford like the smallest sponsorship on a car. Like, it's probably not undeniable. It's probably like $1 million for like the small one for one race. It's just like, why would you ever do that? But I wonder if we could. It would just be. I would make it just slow pit stop. Or would you do Lotus?
Could you imagine putting the words slow pit stop on a car?
That would be the name of my Formula team. It would be slow pit stop racing. Man. People would be like, what?
Yeah. But when you have the clout, nobody can stop you. So that's the journey that Christian's on, and I just wonder.
Yeah.
He shouldn't. I hope he doesn't feel obligated to do any of that, though, for legacy or for anything else. Like, he's gonna go down in history as amazing. Mm-hmm. If you're listening, Christian, I don't know why you would be. Don't feel like you have to.
Nobody
But if you can make my Lotus dream come true, I'll be happy. Ayao Komatsu will be happy because he's obsessed with Lotus and misses it. He'd actually be kind of jealous you got to do that.
I will say that nobody ever remembers the end of a legacy of a career. Nobody ever remembers like what was Jordan's last year like. You know, so everyone will always know. Like,
that's right. Yeah, nobody remembers that Cristiano Ronaldo is kind of mid now.
Yeah, Messi too. I mean, it's not like you always remember the highlights of it.
Yeah.
I remember saying this for Lewis too. I was like, yes, the end of this is like not as spectacular as the middle, but when he retires, nobody's going to be like, oh yeah, he had a couple of middling years at the end of the season. So I think same thing with Christian Horner. He's going to be remembered because the way I think of Christian Horner is he created this. He essentially created the team, won a bunch of championships, had this stiff competition from Mercedes, and then somehow like dragged themselves back into winning 4 more. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's true. I will only think of Checo as the person who couldn't qualify ever. I hate to say it, but that's like, I probably won't be thinking about his Racing Point win or whatever.
You don't like the Bahrain win?
No, I think it's great. I just
got up in the pink jumpsuit.
Even now that we know it's kind of not his fault still.
Yeah,
But that brings us to the next big point for me as a Red Bull fan. The whole Mekis joins. Mekias, I don't know, like many commentators call him that. I don't know what the accuracy is there. But he like comes in, insists that you can get the proper upgrades. He gets the proper floor before qualifying. Doesn't get to practice with it, and he qualifies ahead of both RBs. We're 1 race into this. Okay, I'm not holding my breath. Still got screwed by strategy.
The jump ups we're having from V-Kart to Red Bull, it's so funny. It's like, this is the loyalty that's coming back. He's like, I remember we were in it together in the future.
Yeah, but also like it's a clear difference in management style. Yeah. It's like Horner's like panicking. I don't want Max to leave. I need to give him the best thing. You know, Eos is breathing down my neck. Yeah. Like, we need to keep him in this.
I didn't think about that at all. That's what Laurent or whatever.
Yeah.
He came in with that thinking. I didn't think about that. That's very smart.
Yeah, he comes in and like this, otherwise the stockpile was for if Max has a crash, he has an extra floor. And he's like, Max not going to crash, give Yuki the floor.
Yeah.
I think it's just great for morale, for as far as I could see, and I heard the morale on that side of the whole garage. Like, the 22 garage has been sad, and they're all just so stoked.
They literally had Yuki in P19, P20 for so many, and then they're like, all right, we're going to pitch you on the first lap, just for lulz.
Yeah.
And they did that like twice.
It's such a shame, and like, he still doesn't have the full Max spec, but he has the important elements now. So.
But then the question is like, yes, these are the Red Bull upgrades, but how much of it are Max specific, and how much of that do they still need to dial back?
Yeah.
Or do you just invest everything into Max? I mean, look at, yes, Red Bull is P3, but like, you're doing that with one driver. Like, is that enough? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that this is where we're going to see the shift, and it's not going to be Max specific now, but it has been for 2 years more.
I don't know what goes on in their mind. Like, I don't know what goes on Max's mind when he thinks I want to move to a different team. Like,
maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe it was all his dad. Like, you see Max, like, he seems just like a chill guy who wants to go home, stream, play with his cat and his babies. He is a really regular guy. And I think for him, genuinely, he was like, God, I don't want to have to change merch. Like, I like these clothes. Like, actually, it's like he's the only guy who wears merch, like, all the time. That was, like, me in 2023. I was just like, I feel good in this, and this is enough for me.
That was me in 22 when I got my first Mercedes Polo. I just wore it all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like a 10-year-old. And I just, like, I don't regret it at all. And I totally get that for Max. And, like, I think that if, like, he's already got a mega yacht, like, he's not going to do this for the signing bonus. So for him, he's just like, man, I don't want to, like, change my whole closet. It's just boy logic.
I didn't believe that until I saw him win a championship. And then he actually, like, mellowed out so much. And I could tell he's, like, really not in it for, like, 8 championships.
No, for sure.
He's not. I think he wanted to win one, and everything after that has been, like, a bonus. Yeah. What it seems like to me.
Yeah, I think he wants to get on with trying stuff, too. Like, he did an interview where he said, like, there shouldn't be an oval in F1. But I still feel like I could see him as being the guy who repeats Graham Hill and does, like, Le Mans and Indy.
He's definitely going to do what Fernando did and try different stuff. But he might actually succeed.
Yeah, it's going to be so cool.
Going back to the race. Yeah. So we're seeing
the race.
Lando and Oscar. Like I said, Lando qualified. He loses it, and then he's fighting at the end, makes a bunch of mistakes. I know we called Lando, when we rated the drivers, we said he's B for bottle job. I don't know. What do you make of this? Is Lando, does he have the skill to sustain a championship?
I think he probably does. I think he makes more mistakes than Oscar. Like, we have to remember that Oscar was just immediately smoked F2 and F3. He was very, very good. You know, he has been way off Lando's pace for some time, and now he gets tires and is ready to go. Maybe a little bit more ruthless, it's true. But one thing that I think people have overlooked a little bit is the last 2 races before Belgium, Oscar was angry. Like, he was angry, and you could hear on the radio, he was swearing more. Even when he won this one, he swore when he won. I'm not saying that's a problem. It's not a character failing. It's just that, like, people are painting him as Iceman too. Like, the next Kimi Räikkönen, he's not that. He's a different guy. He is calm, but he's not emotionless.
Why was he getting angry? I remember he was getting angry.
He was angry about Colapinto getting in his way. Then he was angry about the decision about the 10-second penalty for his safety car infringement.
Oh, we never talked about that on our podcast. That was crazy.
Yeah.
It should have been worse than 10 seconds.
It should have been worse?
Yeah, I think so. That was insane.
What would you have given him? Drive-through?
Yeah, maybe drive-through.
Yeah, because he's not going to get black flag for that. But
no, I do a drive-through.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I've been on record as an Oscar stan before. Love Oscar, I love Hulk, I love Albon, love Yuki. Bro, maybe Oscar would actually watch this. He seems like really chill. Oscar, we love you. You don't need to do this, man. Like, I don't even think it was, like, particularly malicious, but the reason I knew it was legit and that he needed a penalty was for the way he conducted himself in the restart in Barcelona. So in Barcelona,
I don't even remember.
Max foolishly, like, not that it was his call, changed to those hard tires, which got him lost in the lead. And they were going to do a safety car restart, and Oscar backed up the pack to, like, a snail's pace. And it was clearly, like, it's galaxy brain stuff. He's like, if I take the heat out of Max's tires and they're hards, he's screwed, and he was screwed. But it was nefarious. And, like, I think your car was so good that you didn't need to do that then. But that's when I saw that he thinks like that. I was like, I'm going to screw up this restart to scupper Max.
Honestly, Max was like that when he was younger, too. Like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Max on restarts, he'd be like, right there.
They had to make a rule to be like, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Oscar kind of saw hints of that and was like, I'm going to screw you. But it wasn't worth it because those rules have already been made to get Max. Like, he's covered now. And maybe he even learned from George getting away with it in Canada, so he thought, I can probably do this.
I forgot that George did in Canada completely got away with it.
Yeah, George is much better at politicking. Much better.
He's that British Conservative Party, that's why he's...
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and people are saying like, there's a huge difference in brake pressure applied and the delta between Oscar and George's thing.
George did it nicer.
Yeah, I just genuinely think that, like, Oscar is this rare breed of person who's, like, a consummate athlete but also very clever. Not all athletes are necessarily cerebral people. No shade. but like Oscar clearly is. And so he's thinking of both things at the same time. And he's actually even witty on the radio. Like he's got a lot of offline processes going because he's just smarter than the average athlete. And this one, I think it worked against him because he was like, I'm just going to outthink this. And it didn't.
Now that we're seeing him, sorry, finish.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't play into his hands this particular time. I don't know if the lesson was learned, but, and maybe now that Max is like so far out of contention, he'll cool off on that a little bit. Because now it's for sure a straight fight between him and Lando.
Yeah.
And I guess to answer your question, like, I do still think Lando has it in him. He was way better in Hungary last year. We could see him win this weekend. I don't think it's like anywhere near over. And Oscar has, he can only stand to lose it for himself if he runs afoul of rules.
I just feel like now that we're seeing Oscar fight for a championship, it's so obvious to me that he's the better overall package compared to Lando.
Yeah.
To win a championship, you need to have like the right car at the right time. But you also need to have that mentality that you can fight to the end.
Yeah.
Even when you think about like Jensen Button, which like that was like a very unique situation, but the fact that he didn't have the fastest car at the end of the year, but needed to still hold on enough to not lose the championship. And Oscar, I think, really does have that, and I think Lando's in for.
Yeah, that's like I just said. Like I think that Oscar can only lose this for himself.
Yeah.
He'd have to make some bad calls with the rules and with conduct.
I'm just so happy that Lando is losing it from his own mistakes, and he knows that because he cannot blame anyone in the.
No, you're absolutely right. You can't blame the team. Can't blame the direction. The development of the car is heading towards him. And the same thing for Oscar is what I'm saying is like he'd only have himself to blame at this point, and like. I think that people are missing, the mainstream pundits are missing that he's cracking a bit. He is, that he's not the Iceman, that we now have 2 or 3 races of like, I don't know if we can fully say lost temper, but cracks. And that's normal. Like that's actually more interesting for us. I don't want to just be like emo Lando versus the Iceman, but they're both like.
I mean, that's kind of like Max the last 3 years.
Yeah,
he's just winning it.
100%.
Nobody can stop
this
him.
One is like two little kids. They're just honestly. Jacques Villeneuve the other day was like, he's always saying something controversial, but he's like, the racers are boys, not men now. It's a little bit true. Like I didn't like maybe all the rest of it being like, if you stop winning, Daddy's going to stop paying. Like Jacques goes a little hard to make his points. Don't for sure, the sport skews much younger now, and these are emotional, importunate children.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because, like, the reason so many Lewis fans don't like Lando is because he said Lewis has the fastest car, he should be winning everything. Yeah. Which is, in theory, like, I get what he was trying to get at, but it's, like, also downplaying his skill. And now that Lando's in the fastest car, it's like, oh, are you winning everything? Yeah. But I was thinking about when Lando made that statement. It was 2020 with the W11. Yeah. That was 5 years ago. It was probably 19. That's a 19-year-old kid who's just, like...
That's a very 19 thing to say. Although, admittedly, now, there's just... beaten a W11's lap record. Yeah. Like this is the level of power we're seeing from the McLarens.
Oh my god!
Where is that now, Lando? I mean, Oscar's no Valtteri.
I know. I'm so happy for the Lando downfall. I have such a big smile.
I think Arafat's the only slow pit stopper who prefers Lando, and it must be a British thing. Yeah, in our chats, he keeps saying like, "I'd like Lando to win."
I don't remember that. I'm gonna disown him now.
Yeah, he's no longer we can double check on this, but I'm pretty sure that he wants him to win. Maybe he'd take Oscar for the whole thing, but there's definitely been
I want Oscar to win. I only want him to win one, though.
Yeah.
I can't have Oscar be a multi-champion, and like they say, Oscar Piastri dominance will bore us. I can't get.
Yeah, you could see him rising to a position of power where he's like unstoppable.
We need to see what a real championship challenger would look like.
George Russell versus Oscar next year.
I would want Oscar to win, though. A worse combo is Lando versus George. My God.
No. Pierre will rise from the ashes and defeat them all.
Oh my God, bro! If it was Lando,
I love this crazy outside theory that Alpine's gonna have the best chassis. Like Pierre Gasly dominance could bore fans.
I want him to win races, like more than just the one. I want it just for the happy story. But oh my God,
I don't mind it. Like it's. Like you just keep getting reminded of him in the oddest times, right? You'll be like, Pierre suddenly qualifies P5, and you're like, oh, this guy's like pretty good because that car is down on horsepower.
Occasionally, I'll be watching a race and they'll say something like, and Hulkenberg makes a move for P11, and I'm like, oh, I forgot he's in the race. Like that's what Gasly is for me now.
Yeah, that's fair. He's just kind of always been there. He just gets a contract, keeps going, but.
It's a very competent driver that they just need.
It was the same in like 2021 when Honda was like really, really pulling for Red Bull, like that fateful year. Like you'd see all of these appearances from Pierre in the top 10. just hauling that Alpha Tauri around like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so wild.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So we talked about Max and his not move.
Yeah, I'm
Mercedes.
checking.
And I guess Fred was on the list too. We're going to talk about what's going to happen with Fred.
We forgot to say FIA hates wet tires. Yeah, how could we forget?
Man, we actually have never really brought that up in the podcast because we always just skip past the pre-race stuff and get into the race.
Yeah.
But this was, okay, I have to tell you how I watched this race. This feeds right into it. And I came back from a night shift and I was like, I don't know, should I stay awake? It's good. Like the race is in 2 hours. So I turned on, I was watching the pre-race stuff, and I fell asleep as I was watching the pre-race stuff.
Okay, been there, absolutely.
And somewhere along the line, I think the race must have been aborted for the rain. I don't remember that, but I remember hearing the commentary. Right. Eventually the race started, and the way I remember is I just, in my head, it's all the drivers, but without their cars, and they're all just like running around chasing each other. So I remember when Oscar overtook Lando, in my dream, it was Oscar like pushing Lando aside. Okay. And then I was like, wait, has the race started? And then I woke up and we were on the 7th lap and Piastri had gotten ahead.
Did you rewind it?
No, I didn't. So I actually still haven't seen the first 6 laps of the race.
Okay, legit.
Because I was dreaming through that.
I've been there so many times. The number of times at the pre-race show specifically has been like my radio while I'm drifting in and out of consciousness. Or I'll wake up for the race and the pre-race show will just be audio because I can't quite wake up.
That's literally exactly what happened to me. But then once it started going, I was like, okay, now I'm watching. So I missed all the drama about the wet tire. I literally slept through it all. So what exactly happened? Did they not start the race on time?
Yes, so they didn't start the race on time. They delayed massively for rain. But then the issue was eventually when they started to get going, they really felt it out slowly. So the first 4 laps were under the safety car, and all of the commentators were like, we should be getting going. And then Max and Lewis were getting on the radio, or Goats were on the radio being like, we can race, it's fine. And then...
Wait, they did a rolling start and continued the safety car for 4 laps? That's disgusting.
Yeah, and so it was so brutal. The top 3, they were all like, oh yeah, never forget that this track has taken the lives of Antoine and like, obviously I care about that. Like, you're right. Like, Spa needs special consideration. But, like, in this particular case, like, it couldn't have been more transparent. Especially Lando being like, I don't know, guys. Pretty dicey. We'll probably just do all the laps under the safety car.
That's so
And you can see why he gets so much stick online is because he's, like, gifted a rolling start and can't hold the lead. And it's just...
So, hold on. So, I came in on lap 7. So, lap 5 is when that overtake happened. Because I know I had the first racing lap of the...
Yeah,
so he literally, first moment, though, that
the first moment, correct.
That's so funny.
No, it was the first moment.
That's so...
It was the first time they went around, and it wasn't that you lose the lead if you're pole. It's that Oscar was almost flat, and Lando had a confidence lift. And it's that, the killer instinct thing. That's why, Max, he got held up by Charles the whole race. Like, the Red Bull doesn't have it anymore. But I would love to have seen what utter fearlessness could have done.
That's what I see. I want to know, like, a true... fight between Max and Oscar with that, or even Lewis and Oscar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Lewis wouldn't hold back either, I don't think.
I don't think so, yeah. It would be so nice to see. The closest we got to that was, like, the beginning of Saudi, where Oscar was like, I don't fear you like Lando does. Like, see you later. And then Max gets the penalty, and vice versa, Imola. Max being like, okay, Oscar, if you're not going to be... Which is probably why he learned his lesson for Saudi. And it's just like that... Like a whole season of that, of Oscar and Max.
So good. Lando's just not it, because he cracks under pressure.
I hope
he's like George. Genuinely, we forget that George bottles under pressure because he keeps sneaking these podiums and stealing it whenever somebody.
Yeah, that's true. He does do some pretty brutal ones.
But he's just not it. I hated that they kept saying, "Oh, poor George last year. He ran the thing too low and he had disqualified and blah blah."
Yeah, okay. I mean, I would have liked him to have that specific win, but yeah, generally.
Who won it?
Lewis.
He won. I thought he won Hungary last year.
Belgium. No, Lewis.
He won this last year.
But Hungary was its own issue. That was that was when McLaren was begging Lando to give Oscar his place back. Utter cringe for lap after lap after lap.
Think of the children.
Yeah, and now we see that a year on, being like, don't worry, Oscar, you're going to need Oscar one day to win the championship. Yikes. Lando's probably like, no, you should have let me win that race. Like, you're going to need a rear gunner one day, our golden boy.
Oscar's like, yes, give me back the position.
Yeah, wow, that's... So that's never going to karmically pay off, is it?
It's like older sibling, younger sibling, where the older sibling has to sacrifice for the younger sibling. The younger sibling does nothing.
Now you imagine, like Lando's going to think back to last year and be like, they should have prioritized me. Because now it's looking like it was his only chance to win a championship.
Last year?
I'm not saying this, last year. I'm not saying it's over. Like, I think that it's even likely that Lando will win this weekend.
Max had it last year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This weekend, I think it's likely Lando will win. Like, this is a Lando track, Hungary. Yeah, but you never know. Like,
what's the championship difference? I think it's like 20 points.
I can't remember. I'm not good at this stuff.
And then it would come down to about 10 or 15 after this.
Yeah, I think we'll be nowhere again. This doesn't really feel like it's a Red Bull track.
Oscar's gonna win the championship before Abu Dhabi?
Ooh,
you have to pull ahead more than 25 points.
That's a really good question. I think it's plausible. Yeah, I mean, the most exciting thing for me would be to see that Red Bull tries to develop and we get a flashpoint with Max and Oscar a bit more. That would keep Lando probably in because it would get really messy.
Yeah, that just made me remember that Ferrari is the only team that says they're bringing updates the rest of the season, and I don't know how I feel about that.
That's really ominous for 26, isn't it?
I know.
Really, that's really ominous. Oh, man.
But not ominous in a good way.
Yeah, I think Red Bull said only one more big one coming or something.
Like, everybody's moved on to next year. And Ferrari's like...
We should be the ones fighting it out because, like, I think the powertrain is going to be useless. It sounds like Ford are, like, miles off. Miles off.
Why did they do that? Who thought that was a good idea?
So I guess this is one of the other big mystery things we don't understand about why Horner might have been sacked. Is like, it sounded like he was pretty close to a deal with Porsche, and it was scuppered because he wanted stake in the company.
That's so funny.
And they wouldn't let him have that, so everything broke, and then they had to, like, this Red Bull powertrains thing is like they put a Ford badge on a Honda powertrain and tweaked it a bit. Like, it's barely a Ford product.
Yeah.
Don't sue me if that's not true, but that's what I hear. Like, that's not a good look. Arafat wanted us to say something else about Porsche.
He can come on the podcast.
Is he invited?
Yes, he's invited.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about how there's a rumored partnership between Porsche and Williams.
No, let him talk about it.
I don't know anything about that. We talked about it, but I don't... That'd be great.
We talked about it, Arafat. When you watch this on YouTube, whenever it comes out, I want you to get to this part.
That would be not good if it's a powertrain, because they'd be behind. It would be like Cadillac's powertrain.
For Williams?
Yeah, imagine if Williams had... I mean, I guess that's the only way that you can really crush it is if you have a works powertrain and it's way better. There's no question that Honda going to Red Bull was absolutely what they needed. They would have been nothing with Renault. Yeah. But this time around, yeah, my impression is that, like, Horner needing to have stake made it so no one was willing to join, so he had to make a full-on powertrains division.
I don't know why they wanted to give him a stake, though. Is it just they don't want him to
that's true. I guess it just made them uncomfortable. It made the Austrians uncomfortable for some reason. But it is the norm now. Like, that's Zach Brown, that's Toto Wolff.
Yeah, but Toto is kind of a...
Yeah, Lawrence will give him a stake. This is why we go full circle. Lawrence will give him a porterhouse stake in that company. No, I think he would love that. I don't know if Adrian would love that. But, like, imagine. They get Horner in the back room, and they're like, you can have all the stake you want. Just make my son world champion.
We'll even make the team another stake.
Yeah. Well, Stake's is... I was going to say Stake's pulling out of Audi, but maybe Audi's pulling out of Stake. Their title sponsor is going to be Revolut.
Really? Yeah. I didn't hear about that.
Revolut.
That's crazy.
Money thingy. Yeah. I have a Revolut card just in case, like for travel and stuff.
What is the benefit of a Revolut card compared to...
I think it does like some good currency exchange stuff. So you can, like, any bank you have, you can just like pop stuff into your Revolut. It's like a third-party bank, and then it's better for traveling.
Yeah.
It has helped me like once ever, but it's a beautiful card.
It's going to be the Revolut.
But yeah, it's going to be a Revolut Audi Revolut, whatever. Stake is gone.
We could do this. We could make it... What would you name the team? Would you actually name it Lotus? Well, you can't name it Lotus. Somebody's going to sue us.
If I had to name a team like entirely myself with no sponsors?
We put all the money together. Me, you, and Arafat. We pulled together the $100 million to name a team.
Yeah, Iron Brew Lotus F1 Racing.
It can't all be...
I don't know.
We've got to come up with our own name.
That's tough.
I would call it Slow Bro Host.
Slow Bro Host is very good. That's like name. Slow as the leading word.
Slow Formula 1.
It's just like that is
Slow Formula 1 would be so.
I'm sold on that for sure. I mean, my go-to has always been Swift, so like that'd be the total opposite. But yeah, I don't know.
Slow Formula 1 team would be so. Oh man, this is why they don't put me in charge of things.
No, I love that. That'd be such a great way to win. But yeah, I'll let you have that because I don't know. I bet you that Arafat has a specific thing for this.
He's got a plan.
Yeah, it ain't about me. I just want Lotus back. That's all I want.
Right. So the wet tires. We didn't even really get into that, but the wet tires, they're just like it's an anathema to them. They can't use wet tires. They've developed these tires, and they're like, we're never going to use them again.
Yeah, I can't understand it. Like, I'm trying to think of the most charitable way to interpret it, and I guess that would be like, generally, even for like these restarts where they're being cautious, it's not about starting; it's about continuing. Like, the tires exist so that the show can go on, but we're still going to start it when it's the most reasonable. If I'm being charitable, but even that doesn't come to pass because if you're in a deluge and it's time for the full wets, they red flag it.
Yeah.
So what is the point of these things?
I think they're just so afraid about like an accident that they. But then you're right. What is the point? I feel like they should just do it once. Give the fans what they want to see. What happened to the era of Bernie Ecclestone saying he's gonna throw water on the track or whatever?
Yeah. Well, Bernie was so wild. This one was a real shame to me. Like, I think we need to start on lap 1. No safety car. I totally get the spas. Not even a rolling. Well, that you might not be able to get away with because one side of the track was a bit wetter than the other, so it wasn't fair. But even then, like, it's being a little exciting. Like, you know, you do get those. You do get standing starts where there's dust on one side and not the other. Like, life ain't fair. You know, that's a circus, a circuit.
Yeah.
I would have started at standing start from the beginning. Gosh, like, I could just, Lewis was already on a tear. Imagine if he was just doing it on the wet. Lewis and Max, like, that's what we pay for, man. I'm just here to see Lewis and Max do cool things in wet conditions at this point. Because I don't want to watch McLaren win stuff. That's like all I want to see now. And the fact that like also it makes Lance Stroll show up, love it.
What is it with
Give it to me every time.
What is it with these like wet races? I know you're not the resident Lewis fan. Arafat's not here, but these wet races with a long-standing Lewis streak, the Ferrari ruins, but we get a wet weather special out of Lewis. Like Silverstone, it happened the same way. Yeah. He like rises through. He gets right behind the podium places. Here, up 11 spots, right to P7, and then gets stuck behind Alex. But it's and then Hungary is a record too. Lewis hasn't.
Yeah, I saw some meme where they're like, look at these Lewis results by year in Hungary. This is Lewis's backyard, and I'm like, please don't do this to us.
Somebody literally on Twitter was like, please delete this stat.
Please don't tell me this. Like, maybe it is for like the best that we all just like wash it clean and let it happen over again. But like, man,
it reminds me of the first year of the new regulations with Mercedes when a lot of his streaks were getting broken because they were like, oh, Lewis has won every year at this track. Not because it was the first year Mercedes, and that's like giving me the same vibes. It's like, can we not talk? It's like end of era talk, and I hate it so much. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna be like at the end of Max's era. Like, I can't imagine he's gonna go out like this. I feel like he's gonna try a bunch of other stuff and go out, and that's gonna make his end seem a bit more like cool.
Stuff like what?
Like, I don't think he should have a couple years where he's like in the midfield.
No, like no Seb at Aston kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try. He tries an Aston. Maybe he makes a championship run. Maybe he wins one more. Maybe even if he doesn't, like 2 years trying, 3 years trying, and then like he should just leave the sport. While he's still remembered as great. Instead of trying like just being in the midfield for forever. I think that's more painful.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis even says that he has a lot more he wants to do. I don't want him to get so caught up in all of this.
He's chasing that 8th is what it is. Maybe there's like a reason why you can't get that 8th. I don't know. Schumacher.
I can understand wanting to be the best, but Lewis, I know you're watching. Michael did not win in '94. You're already the only 7-time world champion. I will say this to you. Insane. Sorry, the camera's there. I'm looking at the laptop. Damon Hill is a 2-time world champion. Damon might be watching this. Damon, listen. I know you don't need to hear this. But you for sure are. Okay, I know it took until '97 for us to understand that Mickey was a cheater, okay? The real ones know it. Okay? Damon, Lewis, only 7-time world champion. So we can all go to bed happy. Okay? I've called it. That's the one I'll never get over, and I've said that on this show. 94 is way worse than 21 for me. Like, I just cannot stand it.
No, but that's actually true, though. Yeah. 21 was Max.
Because the athlete cheated.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so different.
Max did nothing wrong. Even when it happened, I remember on our like post episode, like funeral episode, I remember saying like the hard thing about this is knowing Max did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He just did what every other driver would have done. Even Lewis would have done. And that made it so much harder. But like in '94 it was like Schumacher just crashed into.
Still can't watch that, and I saw it live, and I still remember kind of understanding, even at that time.
Was your dad upset when you watched with him?
Like, I don't know how upset he was, yeah. I don't remember who he was cheering for, but I just remember seeing the damage on Damon's car and being like, this didn't need to happen. And I was 7, and I still could sort of understand right from wrong. I was like, this is not natural. This is not how you turn in. Yeah. It sounds like one of those stories you'd make up about your kid, being like, oh, they were so mature, they really got it. And they went, Daddy, doesn't that seem unethical? But genuinely, like, I was just, like, already disturbed. Maybe that means my dad was disturbed.
My nephew is 11 years old, and he watches these races, and some of the things he picks up on, I'm like, oh, wow, did you, like, see that online? He's like, no, I just was watching. Yeah. Kids are insightful. So I'm not surprised that you remember that.
And I remember, like, it bothering me, especially because I thought the Benetton looked cooler. Like, I thought it was the cooler car, so I was like, oh, it's a shame that it's a cheater. Yeah. Something about green race cars and yellow that just rules. Like, another reason why we need Lotus back in is, like, the new corporate colors for Lotus are, like, electric yellow with minimal black. We just need that. We need that back on the scene.
Yeah, we don't have a yellow car.
Yeah. Hasn't been cool since Danny Rick was, like, tearing it up in a mediocre Renault.
Yeah. Podiums in that Renault.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of things to mourn. Dude was fantastic.
Can you believe he has Daniel Ricciardo 8 wins, Lando Norris 8 wins, Charles Leclerc 8 wins, Oscar Piastri 8 wins. What do you make of that?
Very likely to change this weekend. It's crazy how much of a tear McLaren is on.
That's just crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy that they caught Daniel. It's crazy that they had Jackie Ickes waving the flag. He's like this legendary driver. 8 wins.
Yeah. Okay. True.
Piastri gets his 8th win.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but I will say, like, it's hard for me to really like hate McLaren. I don't like Zach very much. But, like, the team, I'm like, okay, you've struggled for so long, you rebuilt. That's pretty cool. Like, what is it? Luca Di Montezemolo is like is McLaren stake only now? Yeah, like, what on earth is happening? That's a real testament to them. That's really cool. But just give Andrea Stella all of it. Just let him
have a very easy
there.
Summer champion.
But it's been great to have the heat off of Red Bull for a while.
Yeah, that must be nice. You guys aren't the bad guys anymore. Genuinely, I don't think anybody looks at Red Bull as the bad guys.
Even they're just kind of pitiful now. Like, I hate that, but it's just sad.
Somebody when the Red Bull downfall was happening online, I remember one of the Lewis fans account was like, I always prayed for the Red Bull downfall, but I didn't want it like this.
Not like this. Not like this. It's so it's so bad. Yeah. It's so bad. But, like, yeah, I just remember, like, I'm one of those suckers who, like, will type in DHL and watch the fastest lap and fastest pit stop. Like, I just love content. And, like, in the past years, you would just look and it would just be like Red Bull wall to wall. Like, Jonathan Wheatley got those guys into shape. Every part of the team was amazing, and it took everything to beat an affluent Mercedes. Like, you couldn't leave any part of that to chance. And now I look, and only the last 2 races we've had the fastest pit stop with Yuki.
Ferrari's had some.
And it's otherwise even Stake has had more. And again, this is like Wheatley. Like, this is where I'm at mentally as a Red Bull fan, is like what I've learned to do, and it's genuine, is like I'm very happy for our alumni. So you have, like, do you remember Stake at the beginning of last year where they had, like, whatever 24-second pit stop or something? And it was
everyone was joking about it.
Jonathan Wheatley shows up. It's obviously not on just one man, but the dude knows what he knows and has crushed it. Rob Marshall goes, the dreamer of Red Bull, probably underappreciated by Christian, sadly, goes where he's appreciated, crushes it at McLaren. I even hypothesized that he, because he knew the trade secrets, also tipped the FIA off about Red Bull and got them neutered. There's him, who also, obviously, Adrian Newey. Callum Nicholas is, doing consulting now. But
why did he leave? He just done?
I think he's just done. Yeah. I met him in London. He was nice. Moving on to do cool stuff. Yeah, he's just awesome. So, like, that's what I have to be happy for now. Is our alumni just, like, thriving?
You know what you need, Adam? You need Max to go to a different team and reinvigorate his career and everything. I think that's what. That's
what I'm saying. I think it would have been awesome. Mercedes, like, I would have been fine with that. It would have been weird, but he was from their academy, and in some ways it'd be fascinating. But I would like it to be a weirder twist for sure. Yeah, I would like goes with Christian to Lotus to Aston.
That would be so amazing and funny, and it would be like just so beautiful.
Yeah,
if that whole thing.
I love weird surprises like that.
It would have been as amazing if Adrian Newey had gone to Ferrari right when they signed Lewis Hamilton. That would have been an incredible moment had it happened. Because it would have just been like, wow, Ferrari is like...
Yeah, Christian and Max both turning up somewhere random.
Yeah.
That'd be both of them.
Cadillac. Also, it's going to be really important. It's like Max, not that he has to prove anything, but if he wins a championship without Christian Horner, it's like the Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and winning without, what's his name? His coach's name. I can't remember. The guy with the 17-year-old girlfriend. But he did it to prove that he didn't need his coach to win.
Wait, is that what happened? Sorry, I don't know this stuff. Tom Brady did he win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay?
So Tom Brady with the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
He did it.
See, now you're sitting up fully straight. We're talking about football, and you're like, okay, this is very funny.
He did it with Bill Belichick, and then when Bill he left the team, and he wanted to prove that it wasn't Bill that was winning it for him, that he could do it without Bill. So he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and completely revitalized the team. Like he tore the team down. And he built it up. Even they were saying they were training so much harder. Like the other teammates would be like this is just so annoying. Football used to be fun. Now it's like painful. Yeah. And Tom Brady's like, I thought not winning a Super Bowl was painful. And that was his response. That year they won a Super Bowl.
I didn't realize that.
He did it to prove to Bill that he didn't need Bill to win it. And then he won that year, and then he retired the next year.
Yeah.
So that was it for him. But I feel like Max kind of needs it. He needs to show that it's not Christian Horner. Just like Lewis has already kind of proved he doesn't need Toto Wolff to do it, but Max needs to show, not that he needs to, but it would be cool if he showed. It's not a Christian Horner.
That is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I trust that, but that would be... You're right. He did build a very, 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 very particular car around Max. Mm-hmm. Would another team do that? Maybe not. Or maybe they just can't. That would be very interesting.
If he wants GOAT status, he's at 4 and 5, there's really no big difference between that. But GOAT status, next step would be winning with a different team.
You can just really see it at both of these outfits because there's two teams, Aston and Alpine, where it doesn't seem like they're necessarily attached to their team principles, and you have flexibility. They can't even decide. Now I'm hearing Jack Doohan might come back after the summer break. Nobody knows what's happening with those drivers. Mm-hmm. Fernando's going to age out. It's all
It's a good era in the future. I'm excited to see what it hosts. We're going to go this weekend itself. We're going to go to Hungary. That's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Because it's like Monaco. So either have an extremely boring race or a wet weather special. They're already saying it might rain.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is your chance, FIA. Don't screw it up. They must have got the feedback. And you know what?
I'm going to take feedback for anything ever.
Yeah, I'm actually not going to say FIA for once because it's the easiest thing to say. In this particular case, it was the race director's fault. Mm-hmm. That does come down to the one person.
Who is the director?
Can't remember. It was because they had the two guys.
Now it's one guy, and then he got fired.
Nils Vicic and the Portuguese dude. Yeah, neither of them are here anymore.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, Freitas. So then they promoted the race director from F2, F3.
Yeah.
But then they got stick. Are they still around?
So I don't think so. I think we have a new one.
Not again. Wow.
Rui Marquez.
Rui Marquez is the F2, F3 director.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So he's still around.
He took over for Neil Wittich, who took over for Eduardo Freitas.
And I think they promoted a lady up to F2, F3 race director, if I'm not mistaken, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, that's on you, bro. I don't think can't say there are FIA directives and they're worried about Spa, but I'm pretty sure that's just all a race director. Not saying when it's going to go green. So please.
That's a request to you guys.
Give us
I know you watch this.
I actually got hit with a real wave of exhaustion. My eyes are still closed. Please give us a good Hungary.
I think that's our sign to wrap the episode up. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you guys after Spa. Maybe Adam will be there. Probably not in America this time.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I'll be in Hungary. You just never know.
Are you going to be in Hungary? You always just show up to races, and then we find out after.
Okay, spoilers, I'm not. But that one is so affordable. Places you could just randomly go, Hungary and Azerbaijan are pretty chill.
I've heard Azerbaijan, yeah. And Bahrain, I've heard it's cheap, but the flights are expensive there.
So watch out. You never know where I'll turn up.
Thank you so much. Maybe we'll have Arafat on the next episode. Who knows? But we'll see you guys all after Hungary. Bye.
Oh, yeah.